What it do, Naysayer Nation? Welcome back to the Aftershow Podcast, the last one before the American Civil War. Hope everyone is doing fine on this Sunday evening. We appreciate you taking the time to listen to us bullshit for the next hour to 2 hours, depending on JayShockblast's bladder. How is everyone doing today? We got Old Man Eastwood, Travis, first one's here. Shout out to y'all, Marvels, Steven as well. We are live as usual on Twitch and YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, all the obligatory algorithm bullshit. Now, let's get into it. How you doing, Mr. Shockblast?
Doing all right. It was a interesting week.
It was. It was an interesting week. I will agree with that. I've been hanging out, playing a little bit of Dragon Age: The Veilguard, which we'll get into. What games have you been playing besides Funko Fusion?
No Funko Fusion. Well, I mean, I played long enough because someone went live in it. Oh, Frankenstein on my birthday, Halloween, which, nobody acknowledged until very late in the day, but it's fine.
People are busy, Jay.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, so I did log in for the free Frankenstein on Halloween, but I've been playing lots of Call of Duty, which is pretty interesting. Playing a lot of zombies and Nuketown 24/7 this weekend. And what else? I did start playing Dragon Age, but the new Fortnite season launched and Nuketown 24/7. So it kind of interrupted me a little bit. So I'm not super far.
But get on your hands and knees and beg for forgiveness, Travis.
No, it's good. Happy birthday. I think we said happy birthday to Travis last week too, or happy early birthday. And this week I got a really cool package in the mail from freaking Pokemon. They sent me basically 51 packs of their new set. Okay. Wow. That comes out on the 7th. So it comes out in 4 days. And I pulled this Pikachu card, which I have been told is like one of the biggest chase cards of the set. And valued somewhere between $150 and $200.
Ooh.
It's the only good card I pulled.
But
I pulled a couple other decent ones, but not like great.
That's the one that matters.
That is.
That's straight profit.
I did not pull a single Eevee card in the 51 packs, so I'm very sad about that. But oh well.
Can't get them all.
Yeah, well, you're supposed to.
You are supposed to catch them all in theory.
And then I went to Rhode Island ComicCon on Friday, and I met 2 people out of the 5 that I wanted to, but 2 of them canceled. John Bernthal canceled.
Oh.
And who was the other one that canceled? Somebody else canceled. I don't remember who it was, but
must not have been important.
They were moderately important, but I did meet 2 of the main people I wanted to meet, and we're gonna go ahead and get this out of the way. And all right, I've talked about this before. One of my favorite shows of all time is Jericho.
Yes.
And Skeet Ulrich was basically the main character on Jericho. He was also in Scream. I believe he was one of the Ghostface people. I've never actually seen a Scream movie, but
nice wholesome pick. Little peace sign.
Well, here's the funny thing. So when we started talking, I went in to shake his hand. He went in for the hug.
Oh.
And my brother caught it, so I thought this was kind of funny.
Are you sure you didn't go in for the hug first, Jay?
I really didn't.
I feel like you went for the hug, and he was like, "Oh, we're doing this."
I wouldn't do that with a celebrity. But yeah, we've got the Ghostface right there. Ooh. Signed it as Billy. Then we also got to meet Tara Strong, the voice of Harley Quinn. All right, I got her to sign one of my Harley Quinn shoes. And if you look here, I don't know if that's her boyfriend, husband, Whatever, I do see a ring there, maybe.
No, I wasn't there, so it couldn't be.
Yeah. But he's taking video of it because she had never seen it before and she really wanted one. And she signed it Tara Strong, Harley, and a few hearts.
Oh, WB didn't send them the Suicide Squad package?
They did not. I did reach out to them because I told her, because she's like, where did you get this? I'm like, oh, I'm a YouTuber and WB sent it to me. She goes, oh, what's your channel? So I gave her my card, which is kind of cool. I probably also should have followed that up with, you should come on my podcast. But some of us are we're caught up in the moment. And
I'm professional as usual.
Yeah, you know. So then she was also talking to me as Harley, which was a little distracting. And then as I started walking away, all I hear is in pure Harley voice, Jason! And I turn around, she's like, you forgot your marker. That's a horrible Harley voice, but
I'm imagining Tara Strong doing it, and
yeah,
it sounds like a great moment.
Yeah, so I got to hear her yell my name, and that's kind of. I mean, hey, listen, it's not every day you get to hear Harley Quinn, the Harley Quinn, say your name and be talking to you. You know.
Yeah, a lot of people would pay good money for that service.
Yeah, I mean, I usually imagine when she says Mr. J that she's talking about me, but
yeah.
I know that that's not me.
In your wildest, wettest dreams.
So yeah, so she was she was great. She was really nice.
Doesn't Miller hate her for some reason?
I think it has to do with like Israel and Palestine stuff.
I don't give a shit.
I don't follow any of that. I don't.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, like I mean, listen, people are gonna feel how they feel. I don't like it's awful. I don't think anybody wants anything to happen, but whatever. But yeah, it was a good show. My brother met Mankind, Mick Foley. So we talked to him for a little bit. I wasn't there Saturday when he got to meet Kane. My friend Chris met Jamie Kennedy and David Arquette.
I'll try to substitute it with a soundboard for one of these moments.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a pretty cool show. I managed not to spend too much money other than meeting the people. I did want to meet Sam Witwer, but I couldn't find a I thought I had a Star Killer Funko Pop, but I didn't. So I was like, I'll get him another time.
Speaking of not spending too much money, I bought my PS5 Pro finally.
Oh, nice.
Once I realized that I was probably not getting my free system sent over. Once I saw Jeff Keighley get his, I was like, well, I'm not getting mine.
Yeah. I noticed a few people got theirs this week. So, well, we'll be joining the master race on Thursday?
I got mine for Walmart. They said they deliver on the 7th.
I think it's the 7th, and I'm gonna pick mine up at store.
Yeah, I did it, and I did it through Affirm, so I didn't have to pay anything up front.
You what?
I did it through Affirm, so I don't have to pay anything up front.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's I get to have the PS5 Pro, get to make my content, and I worry about the money later.
There you go.
That's how the pros do it, and you write it off on your taxes.
Yeah, that's definitely a big thing.
And so one of the games that is going to be PS5 Pro enhanced is Dragon Age: The Veilguard, which launched this past week to about as much fanfare as I was expecting. From the first trailer, I thought it was clear that this is going to be one of those culture war games where everyone just has the worst possible takes. I just knew, and I was not disappointed. There was a lot of people on that side of the internet who were hoping that Dragon Age: The Veilguard was going to be EA's Concord, which of course recently officially shut down, as well as the entire studio.
Yeah.
But Well, the results are in, and Dragon Age the Veilguard, the biggest single player launch on Steam in the history of EA. So that is quite an achievement, surpassing all the previous Dragon Age games, Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor. Big week. I just saw on Steam that they reached a new high, 85,000 concurrent players.
Every single time I try to look at the Steam charts for it, it says internal server error, and it won't show it. It'll show literally any other game, but that one, and it's not in the top 25 games for current.
Sounds like a skill issue.
Oh, I don't understand what's happening. I feel like steamcharts.com,
let me show you how the pros do it, Mr. Shockblast.
No, because I would love to see it say all that, because I thought it would. Yeah.
There you go. Dragon Age the Veilguard currently on Steam,
which would put that at number 10.
So 89,000 is the new peak. If you look at the current charts right now, Banana is still holding strong at number 2, and Dragon Age is right there firmly at number 10.
Oh, is it SteamDB? Is that the site?
SteamDB. Yep, that's the actual website.
I was on Steam Charts.
I see that
now.
I typed that in anyway, but yeah, that's the website it takes me to.
Yeah, this is a different chart than the one I was looking at. The site than the one I was looking at, and for whatever reason, Dragon Age legit not working on that site.
Yeah, so we still don't have the console numbers yet, but based on this, I imagine Dragon Age the Veilguard is going to have a pretty good month. So I wanted to just highlight just some of the just insane cope that's happening right now.
I had to tell YouTube to stop showing me Asmongold, yeah, whatever his name is.
He's actually.
I saw that one.
He's actually banned from the.
Yeah, I saw that.
They preemptively ban him and anyone who follows him on Reddit from going from posting in the Dragon Age subreddit. But yeah, mostly positive on Steam is basically a giant red flag. Is quite a take. This is of course in response to Paul Tassi pointing out the difference between the user ratings from Steam, which is where you're required to actually buy the game before you leave a review, and Metacritic, where you can just create an account and post whatever review you want,
right,
without verifying your purchase. So obviously 84 Metacritic among critics, 2.6 among reviewers. Of course, most of those people didn't play the game, but on Steam, among people who played it, mostly positive. So I think this backs up my experience with Dragon Age the Veilguard. I'm about 8 hours into the game. I haven't encountered anything really woke. Apparently the only woke thing in the game really is that one quest line with that one character, because that's where all the clips are just that one scene. And
I have to imagine that's an optional thing, right?
Yeah, because I've been playing. Yeah, I'm 8 hours in, and there's nothing overly political going on in the dialogue. It's fine. Which kind of reminds me of the weirdos who hated on Spider-Man 2 because of the side mission where you help that guy ask his boyfriend to prom. It's less than 1% of the entire game. Yeah. And people will say because of that one mission, it's the game is terrible. So yeah, anytime I see someone say Spider-Man 2 is bad, 9 times out of 10, if I press them on it, they'll cite the Haley mission or the Prime mission, which tells me immediately that they didn't actually play the game and they just get all their talking points from Culture Warriors. But yeah, Dragon Age of Veilguard it's just a solid game. I'm having fun with it. I'm glad I picked a mage. Apparently, your starting class definitely matters. I picked correctly because I am an RPG god. So the game's just fun. So I don't know.
In all the games, I've always been like a warrior. I've always but like you can pick up a little bit of side magic.
Yeah.
So I haven't I'm only about 2, maybe 3 hours in. I did the first main mission, and then I did the first big one, like the next hour after that, where you like walk around the Veil, and then you go out and you like bust up some like machinery and stuff.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about this is because I was looking around the different reviews for people who are deeper into the game. So the way the way the class system works is that if you start off as a warrior, it's supposed to be much more fun, but it gets much worse as the game gets deeper.
Oh.
And if you start off as a mage, it's slow, it's slower to build up. That's why I was kind of underwhelmed on the stream. But as you level up and get more, it's substantially better. Whereas the rogue is kind of just okay the entire way through.
Yeah. I don't understand what why these people are surprised that Dragon Age has some like weird stuff. Like there's been like the gays in all the Dragon Age games. It's always been an option. There's the same thing you could do in Mass Effect. Like it's a BioWare thing. They're just options, I'm not like a big, pronouns guy or anything, but like, is it really the end of the world that you had to choose he, him, she, her, they, them? Like, it's literally a check down and you never really have to think about it again
at all. I think my only issue is, and this is, I think, the actual problem that these morons just don't have the IQ to actually articulate. It's not so much that they have progressive values in the game. It's the philosophy of when you're designing a game and how that can impact the overall quality. Like by no means is that section that everyone's citing well written. It's horribly written, and extremely cringe.
The transgender scene you're talking about, right?
Yeah, non-binary. Like it's being completely memed. For good reasons. It's a horribly written scene. By comparison, Hogwarts Legacy has a quest line not featuring a trans character, not a non-binary character, an actual trans character, and it's extremely well done. It's a good character. It's a good quest line. They handled it with respect, subtlety. It was really well done. Whereas with the Veilguard, it came across as not just poorly written, but like performative. They were high-fiving themselves the entire time while they were writing it. And it definitely comes across overall in the tone of the game. I thought Skill Up kind of nailed it, where it's like he said it feels like HR is in the room in every scene. And I think that's the game's biggest flaw, is that it is safe. It feels like a very safe corporate game. It's not too challenging. It's got plenty of accessibility options. Plenty of hand holding. Nothing edgy is done or said. Everything is just very safe, very tame, and it kind of reflects the scores. Like outside the outliers who are just giving it 10 out of 10 game of the year, like 7.5, 6, 8. I think it's really like basically a 7.5 game, which is not bad, but we don't know how much they spent on the game to break even. But this is definitely, it's disappointing if you're thinking out from the perspective of what BioWare is capable of. what they've done in the past. But just as someone who's not a Dragon Age fan, who's just looking at this objectively as an RPG, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Like, I think I wish Dragon's Dogma 2 had borrowed some elements from the Dragon Age the Veilguard, and I wish Dragon Age the Veilguard had borrowed some elements from Dragon's Dogma 2, as well as Baldur's Gate 3, which is, currently the gold standard. I mean, literally, if you just took Baldur's Gate 3 and just had the Dragon Age combat, I'd be happy. I would be in heaven.
Yeah, I love, like, I don't know where I rank them all time, but Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age Inquisition are definitely two of my favorite games. Somewhere in like the top 25, I would probably say. And I don't think this is going to beat them. I mean, again, I'm not too far in, but like, I don't remember the story. I was never a big fan of Solus in the previous game. I think he was in Inquisition. I don't remember if he was in 2. But I don't know how I feel about it too much story-wise so far, but it feels like the other games. I don't necessarily disagree with that either. I mean, I think the problem is that people are just so singularly focused on themselves, and it seems as though, and I've seen the non-binary scene that you're talking about.
Yeah.
It is cringe. It definitely feels forced, and that's not working in its favor. But it's like 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah, I'm 8 hours in, and I'm just haven't experienced any of this. So if that's all the footage and that's literally all the footage, the only other scene they show as an example of bad dialogue or cringe writing is that scene, and the one where that same character is talking about cookies or something. Like it's a bad, like it's not great writing, but it's like you have one scene, okay, cringe political stuff, and then another scene where it's like, okay, this is not good dialogue, but it's not an important scene anyway, so it's just like, who cares?
Yeah. And I will say this, I did do at Summer Game Fest, I did sit in and watch a playing, a demo of the game, and I believe the person that gave, like, that the person that presented it was the game director, and she's transgender. So I mean, like, you have to understand that, like, these people are making games, and it's not that big of a deal to have a part of it where it's for them, like,
yeah, a very small part.
And like, I saw the asthma, this is actually the video that finally made me say, yeah, I don't want to see this anymore. He had a video where he makes his character transgender, and like, it was so cringe because you can see how fake it was, because it gave you four choices,
right,
and one of them was like to cancel.
Yeah.
And he said, what I have to become transgender now? What do you mean? And it was like,
or go back.
Just get back. Well, I guess I have to do it now. And then he does it. He's like, wait, I can't change it back? And I'm pretty sure you could. But like, it's like, what's the point of this? What does this actually do? Like, you're just mocking people who are just trying to live the life they want to live. Like, it's not up to you to like agree with it. Like, these people are real people, and they feel a certain way about their life, and I feel like they should find their happiness. If it's not hurting anybody else, just don't do it. Just like it should be an option for them to be there, so they can experience it just the way that you can experience the black hair that I know you love.
It is a RPG. People,
right.
I feel like people don't. I feel like these morons don't actually know.
You could be a fucking Kunari, which is a big, huge bull. Yeah. You could be an elf and a dwarf.
Role playing game.
Right. Like, I don't understand. Like you can literally, in Inquisition, I walked in on a bull fucking a dwarf. Okay, like, it's weird. Okay, it is what it is. It's a video game.
Like, you can fuck a bear in in Baldur's Gate 3.
Right. It's like, they've always done stuff like this. I don't know why anybody's surprised, but it's getting annoying, like, because it feels like the people that just play the game and enjoy it are like being ignored, and like there are good content creators out there just playing the game. Like I mean, my first video got like no views, whatever, it's fine, But even like I don't know how much your stream got to, but like it was in like the 40s and 50s while I was there, and I'm like
2,000 views.
Yeah, I mean that's normally your streams do a lot better than that, and this isn't your fault. It's like, but I feel like people are gravitating, like, unless you're like rage, like I'm not, this is not a hate the player, it's a hate the game, but like even your title was like, how bad is Dragon Age the Veilguard or something like that, and it's like, I don't blame you, because that's the shit that people click on. You know what I mean?
And it was not that. It was just fine.
But like, I just feel like unless somebody's like rage baiting or like trying to trick you into watch a video, like
if I really was going for it, I would be like, woke disaster.
No, I again, I'm never, I don't blame anybody for having to play the game. You know what I mean? I can't bring myself to do it, but like that's the game that YouTube makes you play. So like, what are you supposed to do? It's, if you don't, 10 other people will. So it's like, you gotta just play the game. And I hate the game. I don't hate the players. Do what you got to do. Well, I do hate some of them, but
some of them are trash. But
yeah, but you know what I mean. Like I'm only using you as an example, like, because it's not even like that big of a deal. But like, I can't think of anything else. But like, those are the little things that that stand out. But like, it like literally kept. I don't know why it recommends his videos to me.
Because you're a white male,
I guess.
It's track. YouTube is tracking you.
Yeah, it's wild. But I finally told it, please don't show me this channel's videos anymore.
Honestly, so far in the game, Hogwarts Legacy was way woker than the Dragon Age. So just at this, by comparisons at this point in the games, and yeah, I think it's just fine. I think people are. And that's why it's so funny watching them like desperately like hope whenever they see Dragon Age isn't doing bad like they thought. Like I saw some people trying to compare it to Monster Hunter Wilds, saying, "Oh, look how much better Monster Hunter Wilds is doing." I'm like, okay, for one, Monster Hunter is a bigger franchise, and two, it's fucking free. It's a free open beta. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Why? Of course, a free open beta for one of the biggest franchises in gaming has more views on Steam than a $70 game. Like, what are we talking about?
Oh, I will say, I did get something kind of cool from Walmart. I got this, which is, it's basically like a gameless collector's edition, and it came with, it's kind of like a disc plate. It's like this metal print. It comes with like a magnet that you put on your wall. So it's kind of cool.
Pretty neat.
And then it came with a steel book, which is actually not even that good. It's kind of ugly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even say the Veilguard. It just says Dragon Age. So I'm actually a little disappointed in that. But I love steel books. This was $40. And it also came with a notebook.
Ooh.
A little notebook, which is kind of cool.
Did you actually play any of the Monster Hunter Wilds beta?
I didn't have a chance to. I just had both. Thor had a vet appointment and Evie had a grooming appointment, so I did have to like spend some time like doing that stuff.
Of course.
And
I made sure I squeezed a little bit of time, and
I meant to. I think I watched you play it a little bit.
I did it the first night because
because
I had to get my membership for PlayStation's worth, even though it was late. And then I played it. During the open portion because the first night I finished the main intro, and then I went back and did one of the and beat that first monster that you're supposed to hunt.
Okay.
Just to get into it.
I'm not in a big hurry to play it because, like I said, I did watch that demo at Summer Game Fest, so I feel like it's probably just that. And I'm not a big Monster Hunter fan in general.
I'm not gonna be honest. Don't love it.
Yeah.
so far, no, I didn't love it. I thought the character creator looked really cool. I thought the environment, I thought the visually, the presentation, everything looks really cool. But I'm still got kind of getting used to the combat. You know, there's like 20 million menus, items, and shit to sort through while you're trying to do in combat, and it just I just feel I'm kind of, I gotta get used to the speed because I'm used to playing faster games.
Yeah.
And
there's just always been something off for me. I've never really been a big fan.
Yeah, it was one of my issues with the Veilguard as well, and which is more pronounced about like the combat, everything just feels like you're running through water.
Yeah, I'm getting used to the combat in Veilguard.
It's the Veilguard has gotten much better now that I've upgraded my mage a little more. I got some really cool abilities, so those combat encounters are more fast paced and really fun. But Monster Hunter Wilds, like I started off on the playing with the archer weapon. I tried out some different stuff, but I don't know. It just, and then it takes so long to take down the monsters. Just like it's still something I'm getting used to. I'll give it some more tries. I'm getting the game for free anyway. Might as well play into it a little bit. Maybe play around with some more weapon types. But yeah, I'm used to just not even Souls games. Travis. Like I'm used to faster, snappier combat.
Yeah, it does look like a typical like Capcom.
Like Monster Hunter like feels more like that stereotypical Souls game where you're like your character's sluggish and you have your stamina bar, like stealth, like something
kinda
like
Gears of War-ish.
Yeah, like something like Space Marine 2 or even Stellar Blade. I feel like that combat is like crisper, smoother, more explosive, and that's kind of more my speed.
Yeah.
When it comes to action games, so something like Monster Hunter Wilds, where it's like, it's teamwork, and it's a lot of running around and setting trap. It's very different than what I'm used to. So I mean, it definitely felt like running around. It felt slower than when I was playing Lies of P. Like it very much felt kind of like a Souls game, but just in an open world, like an Elden Ring, but less flashy because there was like no special abilities. You're just a hunter. So
I'm just hoping. Have you gotten new companions in Veilguard other than the first two?
I just unlocked the guy who's got a demon inside of him. He's pretty cool. I like him.
Yeah, I don't love the first two so far. I just remember really liking like Cassandra in Dragon Age Inquisition. I loved her. I actually have when I bought my house, I had 4 art prints because in Inquisition there were tarot cards, and I just loved the art style from that game. I actually still have one on my wall, but I took some of the other ones down because I had space issues. But I still have one of Sarah up on my wall. But I had 2 others that were Cassandra, her tarot card, and her riding some dragon thing. That was who I romanced in Inquisition.
Ooh.
And it's funny because she was part of the Inquisition. So she was I thought she was the biggest challenge. So yeah.
Yeah.
I thought she was decent.
So far from me, the only romance options I'm interested in is Vev and Morgan. I don't know if Morgan's a romance option, but I met her and she's hot.
Yeah.
Otherwise, in my immediate among my actual companions, I'm only really interested in Vev. Otherwise, I could do without. So I'm rolling with her, and I've been rolling with the new guy that I picked. Just picked up. He's got some cool moves.
Yeah, Varric was always really cool. So hold on, Morgan. I'm trying to. It's been a while since I've played. I'm trying to remember who Morgan is. Is she all returning characters?
Yeah.
Varric. Sol. I never really loved Solus. I vaguely remember Morgan. Oh, she was only in Origins? I don't know. Oh, I remember Dorian. The Inquisitor. Isabella. Volta. I don't remember any of them. So that means I liked Sarah. I liked having her because like she was just this goofy little elf. And I couldn't romance her because she was lesbian. But yeah.
So much for role playing.
Well, I mean, some things you just can't. Some games you just can't beat. So,
yeah. Skill issue.
So yeah, I didn't. Origins is the one I played the least because that one was like, it was a little more like. It was more like Baldur's Gate 3-ish, like it wasn't like this. They changed the style, so I didn't play as much of Origins. But we're also talking about it's like 10 years. I think Inquisition was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's a long time. Yeah.
BioWare.
BioWare's had an interesting run. I mean,
yes, this is exactly.
They obviously needed a lot to go right, because Andromeda and Anthem were just absolute catastrophes for the studio.
Andromeda wasn't bad. It was just boring. Like it was a good game, but I just didn't feel any attachment to any of the characters. Like the way because you went from Shepard. You know what I mean? I have like a massive statue. Like I have a statue the size of that Jin Sakai of Shepard and Garrus from Mass Effect.
Yeah,
and just love that game.
Just saying, a lot of people thought it was shit and didn't do well for them, and obviously Anthem didn't do well for them either. So they kind of needed Veilguard to hit, and in that regard, I guess I could kind of see why they played it a little safer. I mean, they didn't have Baldur's Gate 3 didn't hit yet, so that's kind of set the new standard for RPGs. So I'm looking forward to Crimson Desert going forward. That's could be a big one for me next year. But I think when it's said and done, I'm predicting Veilguard maybe sells like 2 million first month, something like that.
That's probably. I bet it's already sold at least 1 million.
Yeah, I think probably. I think 2 to 3 million tops. I think for a month one,
and I bet that's a pretty good number for a Dragon Age game because like even Dragon Age, like I feel like Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition are like the two like main games. Like the first one I don't think sold as well, but I think 2 and Inquisition sold really well.
From what I remember, their last Dragon Age game sold 10 million. And that was considered like a massive overperformance by EA.
Yeah.
So I think I think that's why there's so much cope going around. Is Dragon Age Veilguard a masterpiece? No, but it's not going to sink the studio. I don't think they're going to lose money. I think it's going to end up profitable. It just won't go down as a classic. So that does put a question mark on the next Mass Effect game, but at least Veilguard was solid. That's what it was. It wasn't the Concord. it was just solid.
Because you mentioned Concord, I've been thinking about something lately because I've actually been playing a lot of Suicide Squad in the last week. Like
chill.
Maybe like an hour or so a day. I managed to finish the new season pass, and I went back to the last season pass because it was double XP, and I got it from like 12 to like 50 something. Just basically running around killing rooftops and those red terminate things. That's like all I did. But I've been thinking about it, and like the problem I think that killed Suicide Squad, besides the issues with the game itself, was the fact that it wasn't Batman. And I've been wondering, what if Concord and all of its characters were like that game was what Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was?
What like what with like Sony characters?
No. You just take literally Concord and that universe and everything, and the gameplay style.
Oh, is like a third person vertical.
It was basically
shooter.
Yeah, like when you play Suicide Squad, it's called Concord, and you're using those characters, and it's just that game in that world
without DC.
Right. Like, because I feel like that game, like, it would be repetitive still and everything, but like people play the same shit over and over again in Helldivers and love it, you know. But it would be like characters that are new and unestablished that you have no attachment to,
and it would have an actual story campaign,
right? And it would also be like we'll say it's Firewalk was the one that made the game too. It would also be like it's not like a game they made instead of another game. You know what I mean?
I kind of like this. What if?
Like that's my big what if. Exactly. Like
what if Rocksteady? So what if Rocksteady didn't make Suicide Squad? What if Suicide Squad? What if Concord was Suicide Squad? And what does Rocksteady do instead? Do they make that dog shit puzzle game that they were going to do?
No, I would imagine they probably just make another Batman game. You know,
they do another Batman game. So even in this what if scenario, they don't do the right thing. Why can't we get a what if they made Superman instead?
Sure. I do want to. Luis says this. I don't think it's problematic to bring Shepard back. I just don't. I feel like I feel like that's the best course of action, because like I feel like that cast and crew meant so much to so many people, and because there were like different ways you could end the game, there could always just be a fourth ending that we didn't get to see. Like that could be their cop out. There could have been a fourth ending, you know, and instead of like him dying, he somehow survives, and maybe they have to rebuild him like RoboCop.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, I mean, if you don't know that he dies a decade later, that's on you. I think if I were BioWare, I would do everything that I can to find a way to bring back Shepard and just pretend Andromeda didn't happen.
You know, I usually disagree with Jay, but I think for once he's right here. I think after kind of the mixed reception of Veilguard, you know, solid, but you know, not knocking anything out of the park, you know, and the absolutely horrific reception to Andromeda, I think they should like play it a little safe in that I think they should try to at least earn some goodwill by saying, okay, we're bringing back Shepard.
Yeah, exactly, Steven. You know, like exactly that. I mean, and then you get to bring back Garrus, you get to bring back, you know, Talia, you get to bring back everybody, you know, like all these characters that people just love and adore. And that is so much safer. I get it, Travis. You can do the whole living up to Shepard, but I feel like if you're going to use Shepard's name at all, it can't be to live up to him. It has to be him, you know? And I know that some people think that the female version is canon, but that's stupid. It never was, and we know that.
Yeah,
sorry.
I think they should bring back Shepard, and then maybe, you know, do the creator character bullshit for the next Mass Effect game. I think they need to play a little safe on the next Mass Effect game,
because the way that they like all three ways they killed him at the end were kind of stupid. Everybody hated it. Everybody hated that. And I know a lot of people hated it because we were told for 3 games that all of our decisions would matter. But Miranda, oh my God. You want to talk about cake? Miranda. Jeez. Anyway.
Yeah, Jay just had a moment there. Sorry, Jay.
No, I'm just remembering all the great characters. Like, it's been a while since I've played, so like
he's remembering all the cake.
I'm just remembering all the characters that were in the game.
He's remembering that file he has on his computer labeled Miranda.
Yeah. but like Travis, they kind of did do that with Andromeda, and it just didn't click.
Yeah, at all. That's why I think they should kind of take a step back and see if they can deliver, because people are definitely going to be watching, and after the last Mass Effect game was such a failure, I don't think they need to be playing too many games here.
In Andromeda, weren't you like descendants of Shepard? Maybe I'm misremembering.
Sarah for triggered a child crush. Fair enough. So I think BioWare, I wouldn't say it's back, but I think they bought themselves some time with this one, unless the console numbers are just dramatically lower than I'm expecting. I think they'll be fine going forward, and then people will be waiting to judge the next Mass Effect. But we also got an update on another necessarily controversial game. Marvel's Wolverine was already another set to be another potential culture war game, unfortunately, because Insomniac is now the target of those people. But most normals are excited. I think Wolverine is looking good, but the only thing that was a concern was, obviously the cyber attack. We didn't know how long it potentially would be before it comes out. And then, we had these reports of people leaving the project. Most recent one, the creative director left the Wolverine apparently over the summer, and has joined over at Microsoft to be on the Perfect Dark as the project as the creative director. So I think if this happened over summer, I think we're probably still fine. We had I was listening to Jeff Grubb talk about it. He mentioned Wolverine is still pretty far along from what he's heard, and multiple insiders now have said they're expecting Wolverine to get something shown soon, and the creative director thing might not be as a big a deal. Obviously, it's not ideal. It's not something that you typically want far along for switch creative directors. But when I first heard the news, I just assumed that, okay, well, maybe they just wanted to change some things up because they had the cyber attack. So I would expect them to do some reworks, and maybe a situation where they had an opportunity to jump ship to another project. Sony wanted to go in a new direction. So I think Wolverine will be okay. I'm not panicking over that, especially after hearing from Gub. But the creative director leaving among the others, it was a little eyebrow raising, Jay, I will say.
Yeah, I mean, but like people leave all the time. I'm not too concerned about it. Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like there's still plenty of people that are involved that like you can survive a game director leaving. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, I don't know that they're like actually doing the grunt work, if you will. So I feel like there's just ways that it's not as doom and gloom as it sounds. I guess is what I'm trying to get at. I didn't really like. I read it and I was like, oh, okay. Like, literally didn't care. But maybe I'm underselling it.
No, I read it, and the reason why I raised an eyebrow is because this was in the last 6 months the story lead the art director, and now the creative director all left the project. That's when, and the creative director, pretty important role. They basically run the entire thing. Horton was basically the Brian Intihar for Wolverine, and when you have that many high profile jobs just leave in the middle of a project that already got hit with a cyber attack, that's when I start thinking, okay, is everything okay? but the game is still, from what I heard, still pretty far along, so I don't think it's in any danger of getting canceled. But I do think they are potentially shaking things up. I know a bunch of stuff leaked. Obviously, people had their opinions on it, so maybe, I don't know, Sony took another look and at some of the feedback, and looked at what happened with Concord, and maybe they just wanted to change things up. That maybe they wanted to change things up anyway because a bunch of stuff leaked, and they didn't want to have all that information just be in the game and people be spoiled for it. Obviously, I wouldn't expect them to tear everything down, build it from the ground up, but maybe they're reworking some stuff, and they want to get some fresh blood in there to take it to the finish line. So in regards to it coming out, I'm not worried, but it does seem like there's definitely some stuff shaking up behind the scenes.
See, the way I look at it though is like Perfect Dark has been in like such trouble. Maybe they just threw a shitload of money at Brian Horton.
That's what I mean. That's also possible. But then why? But then like I can understand like for the first positions, I was like, okay, well, the story lead left for a job at CD Projekt Red. I can understand that. The game is pretty far along. Same with the art director. The game, okay, the art's probably established. Okay, the story lead goes, but from my understanding, the game is pretty far along. That is something that can probably do without that position from the art lead and the story lead. Plus, it's CD Projekt Red. You get to work on The Witcher 4. So right. I can understand jumping at the opportunity, especially if you're shaken up from the cyber attack. Maybe you got your personal information potentially compromised, or you're worried it might happen again. Yeah, you just want to change the scenery. I understand. Creative director leaving for Perfect Dark, I'm like, I don't know. Even if they offered them a lot, like, is Perfect Dark a more valuable project than Marvel's Wolverine working under Insomniac? I mean, from everything I've heard, the Perfect Dark project is an absolute shit show. The initiative was hemorrhaging employees when this project first started, like losing almost everybody. That's why Crystal Dynamics had to come in. Originally, they were working at a support studio. Then it got so bad with people bailing on the project that Crystal Dynamics basically were doing the whole thing themselves. Like it's that doesn't sound like a great environment to jump into.
Yeah, I just feel like there could be a million things. Like maybe Horton just didn't want to live in that area anymore, and he wanted to go where is this based out of? San Francisco? Is that where Square Enix? Is that where I don't know if you went to Square Enix or the Initiative, but
so Perfect Dark is it's under Microsoft. Crystal
was he in Seattle?
So I don't know where the Initiative. I know Crystal Dynamics is in California,
right?
But
it could, there's so many things. Like Travis said, it could be something where he just adores Perfect Dark. You know what I mean? And this opportunity came up. They threw a boatload of cash at him because there's been so many problems, and he gets to be anybody can make Marvel's Wolverine, okay? But if you could be the one to take Perfect Dark out of development hell and ship it right, it's a pretty big feather in your hat. And also, they sent him a ton of money, threw a ton of money at him.
He's in Santa Monica, so he didn't go far.
Is that where the Initiative is?
Yeah, Initiative's in Santa Monica. Yeah, so he's still in California.
Well, I mean, Santa Monica and San Francisco are two different places.
I don't. Is Insomniac in San Francisco?
No, Square Enix. So if he went to Square Enix, then he would be in San Francisco, I'd imagine. But if it's a Microsoft, if the initiative is in Seattle, then it would actually probably be like just outside of Seattle, because their campus is like, it's like 10 miles. I can't think of the name of the city it's in, but it's like 10 miles east of Seattle, which makes a difference because traffic in Seattle is trash.
So Horton was at Insomniac for the last 6 years. So that's in Burbank, California.
Okay.
And the initiative is in Santa Monica.
Okay. So that's really not a big difference.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have no idea. I'm just spitballing. I mean, there's a million reasons that somebody could do it. It could have been a falling out. It could have absolutely been. They've been under a lot of pressure at Insomniac with all the hacks and everything, and who knows? There's a lot of things that could have contributed to it. I guarantee think it's nefarious, though.
I guarantee you there's at least going to be one video theorizing that Horton left because Sony is firing the woke devs. I guarantee there's going to be at least one video pushing, or one post pushing this theory. That's why these shakeups are happening at Insomniac. They're purging the wokes from the studio.
Yeah, I don't.
I think it's fine. I've heard it could come as early as 2025. I'm still extraordinarily skeptical about that. I still firmly think Wolverine is 2026.
I think the bigger thing that people need to start, like, I get it. A video game is announced. You want to play it. Like, at some point, people need to just realize, like, things take time, and just it'll be here when it gets here. Deal with it. Like, people put so much stock in, it's taking so long. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 6 has taken 47 years. Okay, like, okay, it'll be here when it gets here. And when it gets here, it's going to probably be great, and you'll get to play it. And then you'll already be talking about what the next game is. So what does it matter? It just gets here when it gets here. Like,
yeah. In particular, I'm not too worried because 2025 is going to be so full of games. Like, there's going to be no room to complain about something taking so long. Like if you're complaining that there's nothing to play in 2025, you're not a gamer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you're just not. Like, and you should quit the conversation. Like, 2025 is going to be absolutely stacked. Like, I'm not worried about anything on what's 2025 is. Like, we're winding down 2024. I got my Veilguard. I still got to finish Astrobot. I still got a couple of games to finish: Stellar Blade, Dragon's Dogma, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Then Marvel Rivals hits in December, so we're going to be pretty fine. And, 2025. Things start getting really crazy. I'm hoping the Game Awards closes out with some really cool announcements. I would love if 2025 ends up also being the year of the superheroes. We already got 1943 Rise of Hydra dropping in 2025. Would love it if we had Wonder Woman and Iron Man. Imagine that. Definitely possibility based on how long they've both been in development as well.
Right. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about Wonder Woman.
Yeah. To be clear, Jay never abuses his power to find out anything useful.
No, I don't. I like to, the only thing I messaged, I messaged Alan that Tara Strong wanted the shoes, and he was just basically like, LOL, haha. Like, yeah, those are long gone.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I basically, I don't know. Sometimes, like, knowing things is cool, but it's also a lot of pressure to know things. You know what I mean?
I love knowing things.
I like knowing things, but I don't like having to know things and not be able to say things.
According to who? What? If anything, Iron Man has a very good. I'd say Iron Man has a very good chance of releasing in 2025. It was announced in 2022. that was leaked and announced in 2022. It was doing playtesting that year as well. So it sound and Grubb mentioned that it could potentially come in 2025 as well. So I'd say that definitely seems pretty plausible. I mean, if a game is in playtesting in 2022, and Jeff Grubb, the leak god himself, mentions specifically 2025, I'm not sure how that's cope.
So here I want to address this. We've talked about this before. When games announce themselves so early, I guarantee you it's because they're trying to hire people to work on the game.
100%.
Like that is just a practice that they do. Like it's like, hey, we're making this game. It's not just to like get the fans hyped up. It's hey, we need people to make this game. So
yeah, that's what that's what happens a lot.
Not happening, never happening.
Yeah, there's no Midnight Suns 2 happening. Midnight Suns movie or something.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna be really related.
Yeah, but not another game. Yeah. It did not.
Trust me, I wish.
It did not do well enough.
Actually, I'm gonna refrain from mentioning that. Never mind. I don't think anybody has ever really announced it, but so it's nothing to do with Midnight Suns. It's just I'm gonna hold off on that. Maybe I'll tell you after.
Yeah. 2020. Yeah, 20. I think Iron Man is 2025 or 2026, and Black Panther is 2027, 28. Probably 27 or 26. I would say 26 at the earliest. But yeah, I think I would predict Black Panther 2027, and Iron Man has a good chance of 2025. I think they've been really quiet because they're preparing like a really. I think they're going to do it Indiana Jones, where they announced it ahead of time, like, hey, this is a thing, and then you didn't hear about it, and then a couple years later they pop up with a big gameplay trailer and a release window.
Yeah, I was just noticing that a guy on the Red Sox won the Gold Glove. Which game was that?
No one cares about baseball.
I care about baseball.
I won't be shocked if Wonder Woman isn't next year, because like as soon as I see development trouble, I'm like, oh boy. Like then I'll accept any sort of delay. Like Wonder Woman, yeah, I felt like it definitely was on. I mean, it was announced the same year as Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine. Just shows how insane Insomniac is. And with everything they've done in that time span. But yeah, we're still waiting on an update. So if they're having legitimate development problems, then I can definitely see Wonder Woman pushing out beyond 2025, maybe 2026. I just don't know how bad. Like, development trouble could mean a lot. Like, that's not, that development trouble is not necessarily the same as development hell. Like Star Wars Eclipse, the KOTOR remake, that was development hell.
Yeah.
This one, yeah, games have run into development snags all the time. I mean, Spider-Man 2, had development trouble. The game still got out. But I just don't know the extent of what the issue they were having, because I do know they had at one point brought in WB Games Montreal to give Monolith a hand with development. So maybe that solved it. Yeah. But if we don't, I will say, if we don't see Wonder Woman at the Game Awards, I don't expect it to come out in 2025, and I do think that development trouble could be development hell.
Yeah, anything that's already been shown, if it gets shown at the Game Awards, it's probably coming out next year. Yeah. Because you're not gonna like spend that kind of money to like promote something that's not coming out next year, unless it's like an announcement and you're kind of doing what they're doing when they announced it.
Yeah, for sure. Like
because when I was at New York ComicCon, I was talking to Arthur Parsons, who basically runs Funko Fusion Studio, and was like one of the main people at TT Games for the Lego games for years. And he was talking about how it was nice this time. This was different for him at New York ComicCon because it was free.
Yeah.
They were part of the Funko booth, so Funko paid for everything. Whereas in the past, whenever they were there, like the booths were like, for them, were like $200,000. You know,
Yeah.
it was like a massive investment.
Yeah, for sure.
And hearing that kind of like, and he was talking about like how he didn't even know, because I was talking about, oh, you know, I wish I knew you were going to be at IGN, because I would have tried to like find a way over there, you know. He goes, I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know I was there until like 3 days before. You know, it was like a last minute thing, and you know, there's money involved, and it was just very interesting to hear like that business side of things. But you also have to consider like that's what they consider when it comes to like the Game Awards and Summer Game Fest. Like they get all these offers, and it's a nice in theory to like have all these events, but like they charge you, and like it's a matter of, is it worth that like investment? So
yeah, Jeff wants his money.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's tough. I wish they could just do E3 again, to be honest with you. Like Summer Game Fest is cool, don't get me wrong, and I appreciate the fact that it's kind of like, it's smaller. It's on like this small little property, where it's very private and you can just walk around to all these different buildings. But you know, have a good night, Travis. But like, there's something special about E3, man. I only got to go to one of them, but like it was cool. It was really like, and I've been to like every PAX East, and it's just different. Like PAX East is cool, but E3 was really cool. It was like really special. There was so much there, and I just wish that they could like, egos weren't what they were, and they could just figure out a way to like make it all work and do it that way again.
Yeah. It looked fun. I used to watch it on E3 on G4 all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. That whole E3 was kind of surreal, and I got asked to go like 2 or 3 days before. And like I was like, what do you mean, like, come out? Like,
Horter brings up a good interesting point. Well, I don't know if this is the point he was going to make, but I was just thinking of the Game Awards, and what what if Suicide Squad announces the Deathstroke DLC at the Game Awards?
no. No, I don't. Why would they spend that kind of money?
Why not? The game's dead anyway.
Well, I mean, I feel like that would just be blowing money.
I mean, I mean, they're going to make that money off of Deathstroke. I mean, that's literally the only reason people even have the game installed still. And like, and I've heard like a bunch of people like Tassie. I think he skipped the last couple updates, but he said he's waiting for Deathstroke. I feel like everyone is going to check out Deathstroke and then bounce off it. So might as well go out with a bang. If this is your last DLC, you might as well go out with a bang. It's Deathstroke. It's a character that people actually want. Supposed to be a really cool bit of story. I'm sure his gameplay will be fun. Yeah, why not? Sell them skins. Okay.
Because I don't think it's gonna make a dent. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's not going to save the game, but
right. Well, but
I think it'll be. I think they'll definitely get like a couple 100,000 players back.
I don't know. I feel like they'll get that. I don't feel like the difference between what they'll get back on their own and what they'll get back because of that trailer will matter. Like I just, I don't.
I think at this point I think the point of the trailer is just to let people know it's, on a big stage. Hey, we're still here.
Do we know that? I think Deathstroke will get like a glider. He has like a glider and like a tactical kind of glider. And
Miller told me a while ago. I forgot. It is some kind of flying thing, but I forgot exactly what it is. But Miller told me about it a while ago.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's not a board. It's not a board, but yeah, it's some flying thing that he's using. And his design looks cool. I think this was, yeah. It's sad that it's going out, but at least it's ending on a high note potentially.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, like Odeon gear from Attack on Titan, and then Jay had no idea what those words mean.
I actually do, because they were in Fortnite.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's a Fortnite player, not because he watched the anime.
I actually did play Attack on Titan, the first game, so I do kind of understand that too.
Oh, look at
it was like one of those things where I got a code randomly and I was like, oh, all right, we'll play this.
Look at Jay weeping out. Yeah, but after that, yeah, I guess Rocksteady was working on that Hogwarts Legacy update, which is what we found out is going to be a definitive edition. I think it's basically the director's cut Jason Schreier alluded to. I think it's going to have like 10 extra hours of content. And in the meantime, Rocksteady is working on a new single player game. Rumor has it's Batman, sadly. But
yeah. I just was reading something. Apparently, Sledgehammer Games might be working on the next Halo.
Oh yeah,
they're the ones that made. They're one of the Call of Duty studios.
Right. Yeah. I saw that. I saw that on the Reddit leaks, but I was like, yeah, I don't care about Halo.
I mean, that would be a huge departure for.
I mean, I know it's coming to PS5, so when it does, that's when I'll care.
Yeah,
maybe. Even then, I just don't care about Halo.
I mean, I know that the PS5 is struggling to get some good games, so I guess it's good that Microsoft is bailing them out.
Lies.
You can't be near a school. I don't know about
that. That's comic Deathstroke. One of the comic Deathstrokes. Ravens here in Wisconsin. I've never played Halo or Call of Duty.
I think Halo is so overrated
at any point. Yeah,
I've never been a Halo fan. Like, I've tried to get into Halo a bunch of times, and I've just never been able to. Never been a big Gears of War fan either. But I've played more Gears of War than Halo.
Outside of GoldenEye, I just never really cared about first-person shooters.
I am enjoying Call of Duty a little bit. I will say this, okay? My Call of Duty experience has been very funny. That game has some problems, okay? Like, all right, first of all, when you play Call of Duty, I think you understand why it's so toxic. Like, it should be toxic. Like, there are a lot of stupid people. Yeah. And it makes sense. But like, some of the names that people come up with that like they get away with. Today I played against Helen Keller's Ashtray.
Wow.
I played I think it was like Hit Girls Not Something. I was like, what the fuck? I mean, I can't even tell you how many like Jew references I've seen.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying.
No N-word references in the actual names, but yeah, like just there are a lot of actually. I've seen at least 4 or 5 Helen Keller screen names, and and Free Willy was like, yeah, Call of Duty players have a strange obsession with Helen Keller.
Surprisingly, that sounds a lot less awful than the names that were in the Marvel Rivals beta that I came across.
I can't, like, there were just some. The last game that I played, I kept like repeating everything that was being said because I was playing with Free Willy Rocks and he had game chat muted, which I should probably invest in. Then I would miss some of the gems because like. But the last round, there was one guy that was like just screaming about everything. And I'm like, dude, fucking relax, man. And there was another guy that you could tell was a little high and was just yelling back at him. And then in like the final kill camera, you hear this one guy go, because the guy had like a diamond gun which means that he's like completely leveled it up, and it's like an insanely long process to get that. And he's, oh, you could tell this guy just plays Call of Duty all day, and he's like, bitch, you see them diamonds? And I'm like, man, I wish I was recording, because I should have just recorded that match.
Yeah.
Because there was some, I've heard some wild shit. Not as much like N-word calling as I expected. But like,
you just confirmed why I don't play Call of Duty.
No, and I get that, and I understand that. It does have issues, like, but like, I don't know how they get away with some of those lobby names.
I think I just don't think Activision cares, honestly.
Yeah, no, I do. Look, Lucky Raygun, I've played every Call of Duty, period. You know, my first Call of Duty was Call of Duty 2. So I was in those lobbies in the heyday, you know. Yeah. I played a ton of World at War. I played a ton of Modern Warfare 2. Like, those are probably the 2 games I played the most. And like, yeah, I get it. I've heard all that. But I feel like a lot of people now are like me, where like I only do chat through Discord, like, period. And there's other people that are probably in party chat. And I think a lot of people have just left game chat behind. But yeah,
I think that's honestly for the best. Like the between 2K and Helldivers, I don't need any more toxicity in games, especially 2K. But Helldivers has been pretty chill, except for this one incident this week where I ran into this randomly toxic idiot who and the thing about Helldivers is that they occasionally you run into these types. I was clearing a bug. I was clearing a nest on a different part of the map, and then I came back over and to near where our team members are, and then I just see a laser shoot past my head. I'm like, that's weird, and I just jog out the way. And then it comes at me again. I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell? Bugs don't have lasers. Why is this dipshit shooting at me? And he's apparently he was mad because I didn't help. I was over clearing nests, and I didn't teleport over there to help him open the door, which requires 2 people. and I'm like, what the hell? So my the other guy reinforces me. So I immediately, of course, drop a bomb on this dipshit's head. and then we just go back and forth. We just go back and forth having a firefight. He has at one point he says, okay, you have I'm gonna give you one more chance to make the cut. And I'm like, okay, and I drop an airstrike on him, and then it made him quit the game. and then the other guy kicked me, and then I just finished the mission solo. I was
That's funny.
It's such a weird, like it has a weird fucking community, bro.
I don't know. I don't understand the people that play that game over and over again as much as any other game, I guess. But I'm happy for you.
It's a fun game. Like, at this point, like they added a bunch of buffs. They just dropped a new war bond. So what I'll do is, if I just have some time to just feel like, or just feel like throwing a game on, I'll just drop in, do a couple of missions, maybe play around with a new loadout. When they announce something new, I'll come in with something. Yeah, but it's not something I'll play like all day. It'll just be I'll just pop in. It's fun to just pop in, do a couple of missions, play around with some loadouts.
And I get that totally. Like, we all definitely need that game. I haven't really had that game lately. Mortal Kombat was that game for me last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah, I quit multiverses because I was just tired of the pay to win bullshit.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I loved multiverses, and I'm very disappointed I can't keep up with it. Like that, it's like Apex Legends. Like there's only so many battle passes I can do.
Yeah.
And I'm not like, I just did not feel like my time investment was like really respected. And I just didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, same. Eventually, for me, the last straw was the Powerpuff Girls update. I was like, yeah, I just don't give it. I'm like, I'm not paying to unlock them now. Fuck it. I just don't care. Yeah, they actually rebalanced some difficulty stuff, as well as buffed a bunch of stuff. Added some new
sort of. It was the WB fighting game.
Basically Smash Brothers or Brawlhalla with WB IP characters.
Right. And I guess something they did the other day pissed everybody off. So
I still haven't played Spark and Zero rank. Spark and Zero I just played purely casually.
Yeah, I wish I could have
Jay loves that game.
Given my code to somebody else. I just wish I never did it.
He didn't get past the Vegeta fight.
Yeah, that I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I beat all the story modes. I think there's a few alternate endings I didn't unlock yet. I've been doing a couple custom battles, but yeah, I just play it. I just play it a little casually because I already saw, because I know how unbalanced the game is, and I saw how toxic rank could be because everyone's playing the same characters. I was like, so going into Spark Zero, I had no interest in playing ranked. I just wanted to. That's why I was looking forward to all the other extra modes that he had. So I'll just play around a little bit at it and just have fun with it every once in a while. Not too invested in Spark Zero. It's just a fun game. I got what I wanted out of it for the most part.
Yeah.
But we definitely can't let it go by without talking about Jay's new favorite show, Agatha All Along.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, we just had the finale, and I said this on Twitter. It might be the best Disney live action show that they dropped on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I think the last episode was a little weak. It was one of the weaker episodes, but episode 7 was, as far as I'm concerned, as good as it gets.
I thought episode 8 was one of the better ones. I thought they went on a pretty crazy run between like 6, 7, 8.
Yeah. I really thought it was very unexpectedly great.
I had zero. I thought this was going to be like the Acolyte levels of dog shit, like because it was a meme. Like it was a meme in an already disappointing show, WandaVision.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, let's make a show out of it. I'm like, really? You're gonna make a show out of Agatha Harkness?
I did think it was really cool how deep everything was, like how they crafted everything around all the different stuff that happens. Nothing was as it appeared.
It felt like a show that had an actual plan.
Right.
Like it was actually written. They actually had ideas on how to develop the plot and the characters. You didn't get that feeling like you got with the other D+ shows. Like they had like maybe 4 episodes worth of material and they stretched it out into 6 or 8. It was legitimately great. I thought Loki, yeah, if we're comparing them, I did not like Loki. I thought Loki kind of came around a little bit in like towards the end of the second season, but I thought overall it was just a disappointing show. I thought it could have been so much better than it was. WandaVision I thought was half great. I thought it really was weak towards the second half. I thought Falcon and Winter Soldier was mid. I thought Hawkeye was dog shit. I thought Moon Knight was half good, half dog shit, which makes sense because they had Bo DeMaio on like the first 2 episodes, and then they kicked him off and brought someone else in for the rest, and that explains everything. I thought Miss Marvel was okay, but it lost steam after the second episode. Yeah, so obviously just Disney Star Wars has been a disaster. Yeah, I think definitely not the stiffest competition if we're going through it all, but they pulled it
No,
off.
I think my ADHD kicks in sometimes, and I try to be respectful and let Sadot get his whole thing out and not like jump in and try to interrupt him. So, like, I just like I have to like keep myself busy.
Oh yeah, I can't relate. I have no such disorder, but yeah, I thought it was. Where are you ranking this?
I haven't really thought about it, but it's definitely up there. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really great story. I think it definitely established Wiccan really well, made him feel pretty powerful. I think Agatha ending up in the state that she is. Some people seem to be surprised by it, but it's like, hello, we played Midnight Suns.
Yeah,
you know. So we know that like she does. That is something that happens for her, at points in time. So I thought it was really good. I it was really interesting to see, and it tied the last episode. I don't want to. It definitely tied everything together nicely, because we understand that whole the witch's road thing was like kind of her scam, and that was how she was like keeping her son alive. Was she would get her covens, and that's how she would keep Death happy, and that's why Death allowed her to keep going. And then her big I think the only thing that like I didn't really think was as big of a deal as they made it out, like there was like this great shame that they made her like seem like she had
yeah,
for losing her son, and I don't really think it matched what happened. Like basically,
in the flat, I agree. Yeah,
he basically just convinced her not to kill for a night, and Aubrey was like, nah. You're coming with me.
yeah,
So
that was it was literally the way she hyped it up. It felt like something more. I felt like something more tragic would happen, but seeing how it played down the backstory is like, okay, well, she had a relationship with Death, and she traded in that favor because Rio's love for her to buy her son 6 years. Like he said, I'll buy you time, and so she was just working on borrowed time. And then and they didn't. I don't think they fully explained it, but the implication was that if she kept killing these witches, that would that her hope was that would keep every Rio at bay.
I really agree with that completely, Luis. Because obviously she's got to bang Thanos too at some point.
It wasn't. It wasn't the whole thing. Is that she doesn't like Thanos? Like she.
No, like Thanos was obsessed with Death, and so Deadpool also had a relationship with her.
Yeah. From my understanding in the comics, Death was in love with Deadpool, and Thanos was just a simp stuck in the friend zone.
That might be the case.
But apparently she's obsessed with Agatha in the MCU. Hasn't met Deadpool yet, or well, Thanos is dead now.
I am not putting that on the screen, but I can't stop laughing. All right, but yeah, I the show is really good. I definitely enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, the one thing I wasn't sure of is why, because they didn't really get into it, or I missed it. Why did Agatha keep the scam going after she lost her son?
I don't think she did though, because she lost her power.
No,
at some point.
No, she kept like after because like right after her son died, a witch came up to her asking her about the road, and then that's when Agatha said, "Oh yeah, I know all about the road. We need to gather coven." Then she provoked them into attacking her, stole all their power, and killed them all. And then they triggered that montage where she just kept doing that over and over again until we get to the present day, where she attempted to do that with the coven, but then the actual door opened up thanks to Wiccan.
I thought that was before her son died.
Nope. No, after her son died, because the Witches Road song was established, was finalized by her and her son. Yeah,
right.
her first victim came directly after her son died.
She was obsessed with power. I don't know.
Because I know that she had some kind of relationship with Death before that, but after that, she resented her. But I thought my fan theory was that maybe she thought that if she kept making offers to Death, she could trade in a favor one day to get to revive her son.
Yeah, maybe.
And maybe that, because I think because isn't that what she wanted out of the road?
No, she wanted to get her powers back.
Yeah,
because she was powerless.
Yeah, she was powerless, but she could,
because of Wanda.
Yeah, she could have got, but she could have got them back without like the road. Like her whole scam was to just, all she needed was just to get someone to use their powers on her to get her powers back.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was really good. I thought it was definitely a step in the right direction, and
For sure.
I hope Disney looks at it and just realizes, hey, this worked. How can we keep things like this? I really liked that. I mean, yeah, there was definitely some green screen and stuff like that, but like there's a lot of on location stuff,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think that's huge.
They did a great job. Yeah, I saw the budget was only $40 million, and for the entire show. Comparatively, like I think Loki was $26 million per episode, which I think Secret Invasion was around that much as well. Yeah, they managed to definitely make the most out of money, which I think that's the biggest thing for the MCU. Looking at it going forward, that they could make something like this that resonated with so many people without spending, $200 million.
Yeah, I would imagine the cast didn't cost as much,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but the only really big names were Catherine and Aubrey.
If they are doing Midnight Suns, I bet we see Jennifer Kale in that.
Oh yeah, for sure. She got she's got her stuff back, and her cousin Ghost Riders is out there, so
that's why I just didn't understand the casting on that one,
Yeah, because the Ghost Rider they established already was Spanish, and he was an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, I don't know that. Have they decided that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is canon yet?
They haven't officially. I don't know if they officially decided that yet. And then, but the names I was hearing them throw around was like Norman Reedus or Keanu Reeves.
Right. And like, where's a good picture, Jennifer Kale? Oh, you know what I have? I have like, there was going to be a Midnight Suns comic that was pitched like way back in the day. And I actually have like the test art. And she was going to be.
You're an executive producer on there?
No, like the artist ended up posting it at one point. Hold on. So this is what they were gonna do for a Midnight Suns comic, and that was gonna be the team for Midnight Suns.
Nice.
And you got Hannibal King and Blade. There was Damian Hellstrom and Johnny Blaze. That's Jennifer Kale. Okay. So that's why it's like so different, you know?
Very different.
Like extremely different. That is how Jennifer Kale has like always been portrayed, you know? You had the Punisher.
Yeah.
And then you had Moon Knight and Doctor Strange.
Yeah, the Jennifer Kale in Agatha All Along definitely wears a lot more clothes.
Yeah. Amongst other things.
Yeah.
Has a little less hair.
Yeah, a little less. Otherwise.
Yeah. I don't think that design is practical in the TV show, but they could have done like stuff around it, you know what I mean? Like just basically filled in the gaps a little bit. Because they didn't have Wanda. Like, have you seen Wanda's suit from the comics? Like they didn't necessarily do that.
I mean, they basically had it, but as a Halloween costume.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it wasn't like the go-to for the whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't know. I thought the actress that played Jennifer Kale, I liked her, but
Yeah.
I felt like there were plenty of other characters that she could have been just as good as. But her and Wiccan had a really good rapport. They worked really well together.
Yeah. I thought the cast just worked. They worked really well together.
Yeah, that is kind of true, Void. We are actually going to be seeing that with Wonder Man.
So I was going to get into the trailer because I have some thoughts on that Marvel What Ahead trailer. But yeah, we can start on Wonder Man because that was part of it. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I don't know.
I have no idea. Like I'm not a Wonder Man fan. But when I saw the teaser, it reminded me of Birdman.
Yeah.
Remember that movie?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Like, kind of, is this going to be like this kind of this meta comedy? I mean, he's a great actor. He's tremendous. I'm a big fan of him. But yeah,
he's related. Like Wonder Man's related to somebody big. I'm trying to like remember who it was. Trying to look it up. It's gonna be one of those things where it's like it's not gonna make sense like because of who he like because of the Reaper. Oh, Grim Reaper, you're right. Exactly. So are they going to like recast or if they ever do Grim Reaper, I guess, are they gonna, race swap him too? Which I guess you can. I mean, they're both kind of minor characters. I mean, I know Wonder Man's been an Avenger, but like I don't know, he's kind of like D-list as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, he's definitely not a top tier character.
But I think Birdman is definitely a very good apt comparison.
Yeah. Just looking at that trailer, that it was just giving Birdman. I was like, this feels like this what they're going with here. I don't know. But yeah, I'll let them cook. We'll see what they come up with. Maybe it's good. I like the fact that they're being a little unorthodox makes me think, oh, it might be, it might end up being good. The one,
but I think doesn't he turn purple at some point? So like, I don't know. It's whatever.
One thing I wasn't thrilled on was the Spider-Man, friendly with Spider-Man cartoon that they showed in that teaser. I'm not gonna lie, the animation looks like shit. Like,
it's a style.
It's definitely a style that I think kind of looks like shit. I don't like it at all. Like it reminds me of it reminds me of like really bad 3D anime that there's like usually a couple that drop every year, and it's like it's trying to use CG and 3D modeling, and it just doesn't do it well. It looks stiff and it's not smooth and fluid. I'm personally I'm still I think 2D obviously just looks better when it comes to the anime style, but otherwise 3D I like. There's a certain way you do it that I think works. What they were going for there, I don't like it. It looks kind of ass. I saw a little bit of it at ComicCon. I saw the art style. I was like, I don't know, like, because the intro looked cool, and I was like, oh, maybe I got to see a little more. I got to see this a little more of it. And now that we got to see it like in high quality with actual combat, I don't like it. I don't like it.
You know, one thing that like I saw somebody picked up on that I think is interesting. I mean, obviously the What If and the Marvel Zombies stuff is really cool.
Eyes of Wakanda.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's in What If or if it's in Marvel Zombies, but apparently one of the episodes or in the series, Moon Knight is Blade. Like Blade is Moon Knight.
I think that's a what. I think it's a What If.
Yeah, somebody picked up on that, and I thought that was kind of interesting.
It can't be improved. No, that's the finalized art style animation. No, there's no improving that. That's just what it is. And yeah, unfortunately, I think it looks ass. I don't like it at all. But the rest, I mean, I'm a fan of What If. I thought season 2 was pretty mid, but I love season 1. Very very interested in Marvel Zombies. I thought that episode of What If was pretty okay, and I like the idea of expanding that into a show. But yeah, obviously Daredevil is going to be a masterpiece.
Yeah, it does legitimately look like it's coming right back through the Netflix universe, and that's why I'm so sad, because like I was so excited to meet John Bernthal.
Yeah,
and
not invite him on the podcast.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't have done that. I would not have had balls. I was gonna be intimidated enough. That's the fucking Punisher, man. No, by all accounts, I don't follow a lot of celebrities in general, but I actually follow him on Instagram, and I do see some videos and stuff he posts every once in a while, and he seems like he's a pretty chill dude. So
yeah, I actually watched watched his podcast.
Oh, cool.
He had he does it sporadically, but he had a Karen on, and they had a very surprisingly deep conversation. There was some tears. He's a really good podcaster.
That's cool. So
yeah, it would have been great to have him on the show.
Well, he canceled. So we did talk a little bit about Venom 3 last week, but I guess since it's been a little bit longer, maybe we can talk more spoilery, I guess.
I feel like we talked spoilers last week, but
yeah. So the last end credit scene, what did we think about it?
What I mean, it wasn't really much to it, right? They left the door open for a part for I don't know, another, like I think Tom Hardy's done, but they left the door open for Venom return if they want to do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. Since he went back out of the MCU and this is back in the Sonyverse, I'm completely fine just letting it be, you know. But they left the door open in case Tom maybe gets bored and is like, let's do another buddy cop movie real quick.
Or
that's fine, Void. I'm just saying, like,
or it's the Sinister, or they want to put him in that probably dog shit Sinister 6 movie.
Yeah, but I don't know. It does leave the door open. I'm ready to like move on from it. Like, I thought the movie was fine. You know, I thought it was like, I enjoyed it. I thought it was the best of the 3. That's not saying a lot, but
yeah, I gave it a 6.5. It was better than the last. It was probably the best in the series overall. But yeah, it was
just a straightforward popcorn movie to me. You know, like
I don't know. I probably like the first one more, but I think the third one had a better final act.
Yeah. So I don't know. I want to talk a little bit. I still can't. I had like a terrible experience with with Amazon over those Deadpool Blu-rays. Like, those fucking steelbooks they charged me $65 each for those things, and I thought those were placeholders, and they were not. Okay,
actual.
They actually gouged me. So my brother noticed that on one of the Blu-ray forums that he goes to, that people were contacting them and saying that the price wasn't fair and that they felt, it had gone on sale on deep discount at one point for like I think it was $35, which is way more reasonable. I thought it was going to end up being 40, which whatever, it's fine. But all these people were contacting them and they were giving them credits like towards it and somewhat price matching. But like, I get the idiots that are like, oh, we don't price match. Like, what do you mean you don't price match? You have a pre-order guarantee that I'm going to get the cheapest price. That's why I didn't cancel my order. And like, after a lot of back and forth, and like once with the supervisor, I actually had somebody say to me, Jason, if you don't like the price, just return it. And I'm like, motherfucker, do you not understand that like I can't return it? It's sold out. I want it, but I want it at the fair price that I should have had it at because it was cheaper elsewhere during pre-order. That's the point of the pre-order. So I just immediately canceled all my Blu-ray pre-orders through them.
You show them, Jay.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not going to make a difference, but
it won't. But you stood on business.
Yeah, and it's wild because like one of the ones that I canceled was Venom 3, and like again, I thought it was a placeholder. It was up there for $69.99, and I'm like, yeah, there ain't no way I'm paying $70 for a Venom steelbook. This is not something we're doing. And then I ended up just canceling the order, and I saw now it's already down to $49, which is still too much. Like, I don't understand what we're doing here with these prices. Like even like Loki season 3, Hawkeye, Ahsoka, and Andor went up for sale for their steelbooks, and they're $65 each, and they don't come with a digital code. Like, how do you know? It's just the show in a steelbook. The steelbook is like barely a different price, like cost associated than a regular like Blu-ray. What are we doing here?
So we got some breaking news, Mr. Shockblast.
Oh boy. Superior Spider-Man or Superior Iron Man?
First up, Superior Iron Man. But coming to Marvel Rivals launch day. But also, we were just talking about Venom.
Yeah, Agent
Venom film is in development at Sony apparently. So
yeah,
what the fuck is this Sonyverse right now? So apparently you have Agent Venom now. You've got the door left open for Null and Venom still. You got Kraven the Hunter. You have Sinister Six, and what was that? There was a Bane.
In case I don't have Disney Plus someday.
Was it a Bane and Deathstroke movie?
Yeah. All right. All I have to say is, if you know anything about Agent Venom, please, for the love of God, do not let it be the person from the Spider-Man universe. Please let it stay in this other Sonyverse, because you know who Agent Venom is, right?
Flash.
Yeah, and you know who their Flash is, right?
It can't be the MCU Flash.
No, like it can't be. Like,
no, there's no way.
No shot.
There's no way in fuck. No, that's not happening. No, this would definitely be Sonyverse will probably cast someone who actually looks like Flash Thompson in the comics.
Probably cast John Cena.
Yeah. So yeah, someone who definitely looks more like the actual Flash Thompson. Yeah. For it. Yeah, Sony Marvelverse is bad. It's not that bad. Like they cast Kraven the Hunter with an American accent, but he at least looks like Kraven the Hunter, kind of. But yeah,
this would be like, I would laugh so hard. No, but here's the thing: John Cena isn't in, like, Flash Thompson isn't a high school kid. Like, this is like post college, like 3 tours in Iraq. Flash Thompson had his leg taken out by an IED, because there's a point where he loses the symbiote, and like he's just basically a one-legged man,
Yeah, they'd have to go in a very different direction than the MCU with their Flash shops. It's like,
Yeah.
it wouldn't work at all. But oh man, what the fuck is Sony doing with their Marvelverse?
Hold on, I'm definitely gonna tweet that.
I mean, I don't think an Agent Venom film is bad in theory, but based on their output lately, sheesh. I mean, it's hard to have really any hope for their projects. Like they,
I got the perfect picture for the tweet.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
They're doing everything except making a fucking Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Like all people want is another Andrew and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie. And we're getting Kraven the Hunter and Agent Venom. That's all people actually want.
Where's the roll eyes?
How many, like, so you had 3 Venom movies, then you're gonna have Kraven, you had Madam Web.
Isn't dude playing Kraven like British though?
I think I'm not sure. British actors are everywhere. It's hard to tell.
Because he was in Bullet Train, he had a British accent, and I thought that was just his natural voice.
But yeah, they're potentially 7 films deep in the Sony Marvelverse with no Spider-Man.
Ooh, what happens when Spider-Man does become public domain? Does that mean that like Marvel can just or Disney can just like say fuck you Sony and just start making their movies without him?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But
never thought about it that way.
How long is that?
I don't know. Let's see. Spider-Man. Public domain date 2058.
Wow.
So yeah, I guess it won't matter.
Right around the corner.
Yeah, I thought like because like yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I think Superman is what 2030 something.
Yeah. Mickey Mouse has got to be coming up soon too. I know like the Steamboat Willie.
Yeah.
Already happened, but
Spider-Man will be it'll be a while.
Yeah. I didn't think it would be that long.
I mean, time will fly by really fast once we're all in Elon Musk machines. we just download our consciousness into X. We won't even notice the decades flying by. So Jay, you've been catching the start of the NBA season.
Yeah. Peyton Pritchard is crazy.
Who knew? The crazy thing so far has been my Sixers, and
I fully support Embiid.
Yeah, I was reading the story when I saw they said he shoved a reporter, and then I read the reason why. I was like, oh yeah, that's fine. Stand on business.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like the media takes themselves way too seriously, and I don't really like I don't really feel like I didn't see it, so like I don't know how bad of a shove it was, but like I kind of do feel like at a certain point, especially in Philadelphia, like those writers are like, look, Boston is just as bad, don't get me wrong, but like those writers like take themselves so seriously and like think they can just say whatever they want without like repercussions.
Yeah, when I also found out, like when I saw what he said, and then I found out he worked at the Inquirer, I was like, oh, that makes sense. The Philadelphia Inquirer has been just absolute dog shit for my entire life.
Oh wow. Well, like, but like I felt like his overall point was like pretty fair. He's like, I've been really good to you guys over the years, you know, like why you have to be like this, you know?
Yeah, like he can't help being injured, like
yeah.
Because I was looking at, obviously, when I was reading the guys' stuff they wrote. He made some fair points. He was clearly, a hater, which is standard for Philly Inquirer slop. But it is fair to expect Embiid to, show up in shape. That's a reason.
Yeah, for sure. Like, he's not above reproach. Like, he should be criticized. But didn't he like bring up like a dead brother or something?
Yeah, like don't bring like he brought up his son and his dead brother. I'm like, yeah, like what are we doing?
Yeah, like that's the point where I feel like all bets are off. Yeah, it's I sent you that Drake thing because DeRozan was in Toronto. So apparently there's more to it. Apparently Drake said that they like somebody asked him like what would happen if they put DeRozan's number up there. He goes, I would have it taken down immediately. And they asked DeRozan about that like after the game. He goes, yeah, he's gonna have to do a lot of climbing for that. Something like that.
Drake is oh my god, Drake is such a fucking loser. Holy shit,
dude. And like honestly, that's like a whole epitome of like part of what Kendrick was saying is like, I don't like Drake when he acts tough,
Yeah.
Like, and he was absolutely
trying
to act tough at DeMar DeRozan.
Like no one's afraid of you, Drake.
Yeah. Like he was absolutely staring him down, and it was so funny. And it wasn't just like one time; it was every time. And I just thought it was funny that like somebody actually was able to catch all that.
Yeah, that was so cringe. What a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
Who do you think Milwaukee replaces Doc Rivers with?
I don't know, man. I don't know, but I guess Giannis is not too thrilled. And didn't they bring him in just for Giannis?
Why are you calling him Giannis?
What am I supposed to call him?
Giannis.
All right, whatever.
What are we doing?
Bro, I don't care.
Racist?
No. Like it's like a Greek name. How is that racist?
That's a race.
Okay. Yeah.
And you're ist. Okay. So technically the coach that Giannis picked was Adrian Griffin, who didn't finish last season before they fired him, and brought in Doc Rivers, who, if we remember correctly, Doc Rivers himself was surprised and asking them, why are you doing this?
Yeah. and he's like, oh, money. I'm not gonna say no to money.
Money in a title contender. Yeah, he's definitely taking it. But yeah, they look ass. And it's not surprising because he is. I like Doc. He's not a good coach. He's just not a good coach. He's been riding that one championship that one lucky championship with the Celtics,
with the dream team, basically that he almost blew, and they should have won another one. Yeah, but they didn't because of him.
They got one ring with the super team.
Yeah,
and he's been riding that to coaching jobs ever since. Like, and just completely disappearing and taking my issue with Doc is not just that he's just not great of a coach, is that he never takes accountability for anything. Like every time something goes wrong, he's blaming the equipment manager, he's blaming the refs, he's blaming the player. He's got an excuse for everything. He's got a scapegoat for everything that goes wrong except my coaching wasn't good enough. He will never say that.
Yeah. I lived through it. We did not like. I like Doc the guy.
Yeah,
like he seems like a cool guy and everything. But like,
oh yeah, hiring Darvingham for his coaching staff was diabolical.
Yeah, I'll see. Did you see the situation with Grant Williams and Jason Tatum?
I did not.
Like Grant Williams, like full NHL body checked Tatum for like no reason, like from behind, and it got like Jaylen Brown after the game was like, I thought those two were friends, but guess not. Like it was a pretty. It was like a flagrant 2 and he was ejected. Like that's how bad it was, and it was like with almost no time left, and what like. I already was annoyed with Grant Williams towards the end of his time with the Celtics, especially after he like literally resurrected the ghost of playoff Jimmy and like just for no reason. He always carried himself like a little too cocky, and like watching him play for the Hornets against the Celtics back-to-back nights, I hate that guy. He is such a dick, and he does so many like gross things. And I know that he did it for us, and he's absolutely one of those guys. Like, oh, I actually didn't love it when he was with us because like he would take so many stupid fouls. But yeah, like I don't know that we can really show it, but like
he's basically the
new goon.
The new Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, he's a goon, and he like Tatum just like got right up and just walked away, but like Jalen was all up in his face, and then like on the second game, towards the end, Jalen went in for this like monster dunk, and he hung on the rim and like swung backwards and like basically stink faced Grant Williams. So yeah, it was pretty funny.
That was a good. Yeah, I did watch the Christian Brown Rudy Gobert.
I didn't see that, but I heard about it.
That was fucking crazy. Yeah, that dunk was insane enough, but he got in. He just dunked, just put Rudy Gobert right in the rim, and then he landed and was like, ugh, right in his face, and Rudy Gobert like grabs him around his head, and then like pushes him. like I maybe he was thinking of throwing a punch, but he decided to like maybe I'll go for a headlock, or then he just ended up shoving him instead. It was super awkward, and then Russell Westbrook came running over there, and Rudiger. It was hilarious when the commentators said Rudy Gobert saw Russell Westbrook coming. It said, "No, monsieur, no, monsieur."
Did you hear?
Terrified.
Did you hear the big kind of somewhat controversial thing that Joe Mazzulla said last week?
Oh, he says a lot of crazy shit, didn't he?
Yeah.
The last thing I saw was he said what the world was ending, or we
no. He thinks that fighting should come back in the NBA.
Oh, fighting should come back.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, hear about
like NHL fighting.
Let's run through it. So obviously the NBA is trying to clean up his act,
right?
They don't want to go back to the Jailblazer era, or they definitely don't want to go back to the cocaine era. But I don't know. I felt like the fight. Obviously, they didn't love it, but I don't know. The fights were fun. Some of the fights were. I feel like there is a slippery slope because you don't want, because obviously you don't want guys getting hurt, and like when punches start flying, you really can't condone that. Like it'd be one. They're not just grabbing jerseys. Like it's not like the NFL where they're like grabbing helmets or whatever, and they got all this gear. Like guys can really get hurt. You know, obviously, famously the Rudy Tomjanovich situation. You really don't want to put these guys in that situation. So, as fun as some of the fights were, there were some all timers. I actually watched the Malice at the Palace live.
Yeah,
I was in school.
Have you watched the documentary on that?
I was obsessed with that, bro. I was literally in my dorm room when it watched. I was in my dorm room in New York, watching the game on local TV, and it was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
like that. But we don't. I don't think they could justify actually allowing it. Like, I mean, because I feel like because what would they? Because I think they're obviously going to break it up, but what would that entail? Would it be like the referee just doesn't make it an automatic ejection or suspension? Like,
I don't know.
Like how would you even let that like you can't leave them in the game after someone's like
like the NHL, it's a 5-minute major penalty, so you throw the two guys in the penalty box for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
but there's not really an option like that in the NBA.
You're not going to give them a double tech for punching each other in the face, like
right?
like what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like how would that even work?
Maybe there'd be an NBA penalty box.
NBA penalty box, like they can't come in the game for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know how they would do it, but yeah,
I think the game. I think the game. I'd rather them add a 4-point line than sanctioned fighting.
Yeah, Missoula is definitely a character for sure.
Yeah, he's fucking out there, bro.
Yeah, he like watches the town like at least once a week, and he watches like tons of UFC fights to get pumped for games. Like
fair.
Yeah.
He obviously super religious.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I like Missoula. I think he's grown a lot. He kind of got forced into it. I mean, I wonder what would have happened if Aime Udoka stayed with us. But I think Missoula's doing good.
I do. Bring up Barkley made me think about his fight with Shaq. I love that one. He fouled. Yeah, I think he fouled him, and Shaq got mad, and Barkley threw a ball at his face, and Shaq just threw this giant haymaker, and Charles tackled him, and these giant guys just rolling around the ground. So funny. That was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
I miss some of those fights are definitely classic. I definitely could not be in the UFC, or nor would I want to.
Yeah,
it's fun to watch, but I've trained Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I've seen what happens to fighters. Jiu-Jitsu is cool, but like full on being a UFC fighter, it's not a lot of money for a lot of potential danger.
Right.
I'd rather learn jiu-jitsu than try to compete in UFC.
A lot of people clown on CM Punk because when he left WWE, like he's always been obsessed with like MMA.
Yeah.
And he actually is a commentator for like a minor league MMA organization, but and he had a close relationship with Dana White, and Dana White was like, come fight in UFC, and he trained and he keep in mind his first fight in UFC he was like 37.
Yeah.
All right, and he was fighting a kid like 20 years younger, or like 15 years younger. Like it was crazy. He got his last fight, just got pummeled. All right, he went all 5 rounds, but he looked like his face went through a meat grinder at the end, and like so he did this big interview right before WrestleMania, and like he had never really addressed it before, but like Ariel Helwani did the interview, and he does UFC stuff too, and he asked him about it, and he's like, like people like to make fun of me, but man, like I loved that. Like I love the UFC. I wanted to do it. I had the opportunity and I tried it. Like, what can you say? Yeah, I got my ass kicked. It probably wasn't a good idea. I probably wasn't, like I was trying to like cut weight, like and fight at these lower levels, like lower weight classes that I'm just like, it was too much for me, to like get down to that weight. But there's no way I was fighting the people at my normal weight class, because they would have murdered me even more.
Yeah.
Like, but he was like super honest about it, but he was like, I'm proud of my time in the UFC. Like, yeah, it sucks that it went the way it did. I got my ass kicked, but like, I still got to do the walk. I still got to do the fight. I still did it.
And 99% of the people in the world would not have the balls to do that.
No, not at all. And he did it at 37, like,
yeah.
So it is crazy though.
These are the best fighters. People don't understand, like, especially watching, especially these armchair analysts who've never actually been in a fight. Like it's levels to this. Like,
yeah, but like, I don't know. A lot of people like to make fun of WWE for being fake and whatever. But like, I don't know. Brock Lesnar went into UFC and became world heavyweight champion.
Well, he was also
NCAA champion.
An NCAA champion.
I know. I understand that. No, I understand that.
And he was also roided up and built like a fucking demigod.
Yeah.
So he had some advantages going into the UFC.
I get it.
CM Punk was a 37-year-old man who was a professional wrestler.
Yep, every bit of it.
Professional wrestler, and Brock Lesnar was like a mid-20s freak of nature athletically, who was also a legit champion wrestler.
You know what's crazy? The only time Brock Lesnar did not win the NCAA title when he was in college, he went up against this guy named Stephen Neal, who beat him and ended up being he did not go into UFC. He ended up going into the NFL with the Patriots and won a few Super Bowls. But yeah, he went from college wrestling to being an offensive guard for the Patriots, and that's kind of funny.
That works.
But he was also the only person to beat. He won the NCAA championship, I think, Brock's freshman year, and then Brock won every other title after that.
Yeah, so he beat him as a freshman, and then Brock just went on a run.
Yeah.
And then went to WWE, then became a WWE and UFC champion.
Yeah, not many people can say that.
Very. Can anyone else say that actually?
I don't think so. Actually, I think he's the only one.
Because I know Ken Shamrock went to the UFC, but
he was only Intercontinental champion in WWE.
Yeah, I don't think he was I don't think he won a belt in UFC.
How do I know them? What do you mean?
Jay knows everybody. What do you mean? There's not a person Jay doesn't know.
I know Bobby Lashley did some MMA, but I don't think he was in UFC. That's a big boy. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I love Bobby Lashley.
This would be funny, but yeah.
Ronda Rousey, that's a good point. Yeah.
But did she win the WWE?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so
multiple times.
Okay, so
yeah, so I didn't even think women, obviously.
Because I was thinking more of someone who went from WWE to UFC.
Yeah, she went UFC, but there have been people that have done that though.
Because there
was Dan Severn did it.
Yeah, because I was thinking in terms of that, because
Tank Abbott.
I was thinking in terms of that because it's obviously much harder to become a UFC champion, because to do that you have to be one of the best handful of fighters on earth.
Right.
Whereas to be a WWE champion, the script writers just have to put it in to write it.
There was I think we might have seen another one at some point. There was the Mexican fighter who tried to kill the guy that touched his daughter. Well, I can't think of his name. He was in a tag team with Rey Mysterio. He was a UFC champion. I can't think of his name. Someone in chat will know. Maybe Marcus will know. But he was trending in the right direction. I don't know if he would have been a WWE champion, but he was doing pretty well. But yeah, there's been some crossover, and I think we'll see some more crossover now, that they're basically part of the same company.
Yeah.
But that's actually really one of the cool things I've liked about it is they've been incorporating each other's stars in the shows. UFC would always feature WWE guys when they went to the fights, because Undertaker would go to a lot of fights, and just lots of people go to fights, but they've been having some UFC fighters show up at WWE events with their belt and everything.
When does Raw come to Netflix?
January 5th, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna tap in once it hits Netflix.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. We got some good stories coming up, I think.
I bet. I said I watched.
You're gonna want to learn all about the bloodline. I think you're gonna enjoy Roman Reigns and The Rock fighting The Rock.
Well, I love The Rock, so it should work out. I still gotta watch that Vince McMahon documentary too.
Yeah, it's pretty bad stuff.
I mean, yeah, but I assume it's really well done. Bill Simmons usually.
I wish I knew CM Punk. Speaking of knowing everybody I talk about, yeah.
Invite him on a podcast.
Yeah, he doesn't do any media. That was the cool thing about that interview he did. He actually did 2 podcasts this year, and he like never does media. He did the Ariel Helwani podcast, and then Ice Cube's kid started a podcast.
Oh, nice.
And he did that one. He did a 2-parter with that.
That's random.
And that was really good. Yeah, because he's obsessed with O'Shea Jackson. He's like obsessed with WWE. Like they always have him at like WrestleMania and different events. So yeah,
maybe you have a chance. I'll tell them how obsessed you are.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think those are the only 2 he's done anytime recently. And he would make, because like, I don't know, he hates the wrestling media. That he very famously, so one of the things about CM Punk is when he was in AEW, after he won the world title, they do these like press conferences after, which are kind of hokey, but they're trying to make it all legit and everything, kind of like UFC and whatever. And he's sitting there next to Tony Khan, who's the owner of AEW, and whose father owns the Jacksonville Jaguars and like a soccer team in England. So he's sitting there, and like apparently like something happened, like some stuff went down, and he just started shitting on everybody. Like just like it was a all-timer interview. Like he's just sitting there like eating like donuts like in the middle of it and like drinking the drinks, like no fucks given. And then after that interview, there was this huge brawl. Like some of the guys like raided his locker room, and there was a big fight. Ooh. And he left the company he left for a while. And then when he came back, the same people were all sad about it. So he stood on business, as they say.
Well,
but all those AEW people like hate him now and like talk a lot of shit. But I love the interview he did. It was like a 2-hour interview with Ariel Helwani. I've watched it like multiple times. Like I have like a playlist of CM Punk stuff that I'll watch. Like I'll just let it run while I'm sleeping. Just like, because I like to have some background noise. That's like one of the like when I'm like bored with The Office, I'll sometimes watch that. But I've listened, like I loved that interview because he just like he got like super personal and like actually answered a lot of stuff. And there was one portion because like nobody had ever talked about the fight that led to him getting fired from AEW, and he talked about it. And then Ariel Helwani, like AEW in their infinite wisdom, decided, oh, we're going to air the footage. And it did not work out the way that they thought it would. It worked out really poorly. And Ariel Helwani actually, there's a YouTube short of CM Punk doing the interview explaining what was happening, what happened, and it actually happening. And it literally lines up like second by second and is exactly what he said. And like for so long, so many people had like basically accused him of lying and said things happened that didn't. And like one of the reasons that he was Tony Khan said he was fired with cause because he's never been more scared in his life. Because in the video, CM Punk's like, yeah, I turned to Tony and said, this place is a fucking joke. I quit. And like he was like, pointing at him and like, but he like, it's comical to think that he was fearful of his life. It was pretty good stuff.
I actually might have to watch that one. That sounds pretty good.
I'll find it and send it to you.
All right, bet. But so before we wrap up, final predictions for the election.
I don't know. I don't like either one of them. I don't think either one of them is fit to be president. Obviously, Trump is the shittiest.
Do your crystal ball thing. Predict what's going to happen, Mr. Shockblast, and I'll do my Sadot the Prophet thing.
I'm worried that there is a legit shot Trump wins. Like I've been trying to keep up with it as best I can. Like I just feel like there's a lot of projecting coming on from the Democratic side, and like I think they're very worried.
Oh yeah. I've been tapping in a little bit. So my official prediction, this is Sadot the Prophet prediction.
Okay.
Based on the vibes and looking at a bunch of different analytics and stuff, I think Trump wins the Electoral College. I think he probably wins the popular vote as well, which will be a shocker. And I think the Democrats will refuse to certify the election on the grounds of the 14th Amendment, saying that Trump is ineligible to be president because he incited an insurrection on January 6th, and then we'll have a civil war.
Yeah, I don't
That's my official prediction.
I don't really know. Like, I just feel like it would be highly hypocritical of them to like basically try to like not acknowledge the election results. But yeah, I don't. I think Kamala is just Chat GPT. Like and worse. I think she's. I you know what? I am gonna vote for Sadot for president, and I will take a picture of it and I will tweet it. I am going to vote. I'm not gonna. I won't tweet your government. I won't like. It'll be Sadot the gamer. That's gonna be it. I'm not gonna.
That's how I'm running.
Yeah, I'm not gonna use your governmental. But I just like she was like 7th or something in the primary, like before she got chosen as the VP.
Yeah,
like she was awful.
She got washed.
She got bodied by that Hawaiian chick.
Yeah, like, it was bad. I remember it was bad.
Yeah, like, and I just don't and now she's just like, I just feel like she just hired like PR people to like, you know, put you through the whole process. And I do feel like there's a little bit of, oh, it'll be our first female and black female president, you know? And I don't think those things matter. I think you vote for the best person, and like we should have the best people. And I don't think that's it. Like she keeps talking about all like, and I'm sorry, I'm on my soapbox here. I don't usually do political things. Preach. But what bothers me the most is that she keeps talking about all the things that she's gonna do. And I'm like, bitch, you're the second most powerful person in the world for the last 4 years. Like, you could have done this already. Why? You know, like, so it's not like she like, I don't like the way that like they handled the transition either. Like, they just anointed her.
They literally stabbed Biden directly in the back.
Right. There should have been like a primary for it. Like there should have been like people. I'm fine with them getting Biden out of there. He's awful too.
Well, the reason why is because it literally was because of money. Because if they picked anyone other than Kamala, then all the Biden bucks that he accumulated on his campaign, which was hundreds of millions of dollars, would have been inaccessible. They would, whoever's the candidate, they would not have access to any of those funds, and they would have to like re-raise everything else. So they were like, all right, well, we'll just go vice president. We'll just go down vice president. Yeah. It can't be that bad.
and I don't look. Trump is an awful human being. You know, I think there's a lot of hyperbole around him, but there's also a lot of like truths. It's wild to me how underplayed the assassination attempt has been. Like I feel like they talked more about
all three of them.
I feel like the media has talked more about the raccoon and the squirrel, you know, which is also wild. But like, I don't want him to be president, but like, I don't think he was as bad as people make him out to be. He's just a terrible person, you know, and he doesn't shut the fuck up when he should. But like, I don't know. I don't think either one of them is fit to like we deserve better.
I voted for Yang during the primary.
I like Peter Buttigieg. That's who I voted for.
Buttigieg.
Yeah, it's a weird name.
Yeah, very weird name. I would never like. Yeah, I was like, you can't be president with a name like that, man. Sorry.
Yeah, like that's who I liked.
That's not a president's last name. That's a cabinet secretary at best. Sorry.
And that's fine. Maybe he jumped the line a little bit there, you know. Yeah,
but he got ahead of himself.
I think the biggest problem right now is that they're both just the complete opposite end of extremes, you know. And like people talk about, I just have a hard time with all the people like, I want prison reform, like backing Kamala when she was one of the most harshest district attorneys in the country, you know?
Yep. Forcing people to stay beyond their sentence for free prison labor.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what that was literally her playbook.
Yeah.
And like nobody lets her off, like everybody lets her off the hook for that because she smiles.
Well, it really is because
Orange Man bad, yeah.
Orange Man bad, yeah.
And he is. Don't get me wrong. But like I don't know. It's just I don't care. I don't like I feel like if Kamala wins, it's just gonna be more of the same. And I don't think what we've gone through the last 4 years is great. I don't think it's terrible. I do feel like I don't know. I do feel like there's been a lot of missteps, but I don't want the Trump again because then I got to listen to everybody bitch every day.
Yeah, and who knows what he might do at this point.
Yeah, but everybody makes this big deal. There's some things that like people make a big deal about, like, oh, he's talking to Putin and blah blah blah. I would kind of hope so. Like, so you think it's a bad thing that he would have a working relationship with that guy? Like, I don't think it's like.
I mean, I guess it would depend on what they're talking.
Yeah, but like, I feel like if he's keeping him at bay, isn't that a good thing?
I don't know if he's keeping it at bay, but yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know enough. You know,
he keeps saying he has a surefire strategy to and basically end the war overnight with Ukraine.
Oh.
That he's going to reveal, once he gets president. I'm like, okay.
Well, that's like the. Have you ever seen The Office? The episode where Lego Batman guy, the actor that plays him, shit, I can't think of his name, but he interviews for Michael Scott's job, and he's like, "Oh, I've got this big plan," and Jim is like, "Well, what is it?" He goes, "Oh, I can't show you that. Like you'll get it when you hire me." He's like, "Well, how do we know you even have a plan?" He's like, "Okay, I'll give you a part of the plan.
A concept of a plan."
He's like, "This is page 7, part 6, act 3, version 4.5 of the plan," and then he just like says 6 words that are just random. Yeah. So yeah.
That was basically the Rogan interview. Like,
right. I didn't really watch any of that. So
I was playing video games, so I just had it on in the background. So I listened
yeah.
to it.
I just
it was insane.
Here's the only thing I'm going to say about the election is vote because you feel like you mean it. Vote because you believe in what you're doing. Don't let anybody like pressure you into voting if you don't feel like you understand what's going on and you don't feel like you're actually doing it for you. I feel like a lot of people try to pressure others and like make them feel bad about not voting. It's okay not to vote. You have a right not to vote too.
True.
And those people are only doing it because they think you're a +1 for what they want. They think that if they can get you to vote, it's just a +1 for what you want. And I just see people, and I've had friends try to fight me on this. If you don't understand what's going on, it's okay to sit it out, Don't let anybody make you feel like you have to do it because they really just want you to do what they want.
As a great philosopher Puff Daddy once said, vote or die.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to go so I can vote locally. There's definitely some questions that we have that are interesting that I want to make sure I vote on, but like I'll vote for Sadot the Gamer for president. That'll be my write-in vote.
Perfect. I'll vote. I will write in Thor.
I like it. He definitely deserves it way more than me.
Thor is the president of my heart.
Love it.
Love it. All right. Well, if the world is still intact, if we're not preparing to enlist in this civil war by next week, we'll see you on Sunday. Hopefully nothing's been destroyed, and we'll have a nice normal show where we'll talk about all the latest hopefully not relatively non-important drama. I'm sure there'll be more Veilguard news. Nothing really expecting much gaming wise for a little while, but we'll see. There could be some surprises, but really just waiting for Rivals and game everything. Pretty much everything is next month. So
right,
we'll catch y'all. Everyone, thank you all for hanging out once again.
We will both have PS5 Pros for next week too.
We will. That was also a thing. So that's the one we can compare. We can give a review. See how much it's an improvement on the original. So I'm Sadot the Gamer.
I am not Casual Avenger.
Zip it up. Zip it out. Yeah. And on
enemies call me Namor. Backstage buzz, we prep for the sound. The curtain falls and the crowd's all round. The night's still young and the stage is set. Our voice is ready, no time for regret. Wisdom and laughter in a verbal embrace. Tonight we're ruling this electric space. What a dream when it's time for us. Diving deep in after-show debates. Echoed loud with hot takes so contentious. Hearts race on, our pulse relentless. Yeah, we're